hours, and I think you would all agree it is the most beautiful showroom, and it's very easy to want to buy everything in here, especially when you're doing renovating projects.
Yes.
So I'm sure you've all had a good look around, and I think the installations in the windows are just beautiful. Well done, you two, and yeah, collaboration with English Tapware all looks beautiful, and it's so lovely to see things in situ and just get that inspiration. In terms of what's happening with Belle magazine, well, you'll get the copy of the latest issue when you leave this evening. It's all going well. We're doing 8 issues a year, one-shots, events, books, so you keep reading, keep buying. English Tapware feature in there quite a lot, so no, it's all very good. So what we're going to talk about first, maybe Dara, is what you're seeing. Now, Dara just told us that her tile shop, which is just down the road in High Street, is possibly the most beautiful tile shop in the world. And I love that. That is a big call, and I like that confidence.
I'm standing behind that. I definitely believe in that.
I haven't been there yet, but I just love the idea that two, retailers doing beautiful things are collaborating, and I think that's, really important, and I think that's the way things should be going in retail and design.
Absolutely. I think especially in Melbourne, like the design community is so amazing and supportive of each other that it makes sense to actually collaborate with like-minded and like-positioned companies such as Byzantine Design and English Tapware Company.
Yes. Now, in terms of tiles, what are you seeing? What's coming through? What are the big trends you're seeing in Milan this year? Okay, that's because I was in Milan, which was pretty exciting. There's lots of stone, extreme stone, lots of tiles with metals, and what are you seeing? What are people buying?
I guess the most exciting thing for us is we're actually selling colour.
Okay, yes.
Colour, pink and green.
Mm.
People just love pink, and we've got very masculine men walking in with their partners, going for a pink tile, which is amazing. So like for years and years it's always just been grey or beige or very neutral, whereas now we've got deep emerald greens, we've got pinks, we're getting terracotta is huge now coming through, which is like I started my career probably 18, 19 years ago, and I was selling terracotta and colours, and it's just so lovely that that's all now come back, and it's come back in a way more contemporary and way more beautiful way than...
Yes, it's been done a lot better. And I know a lot of you in the room are designers and working incredibly well really expertly with colour at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think those colours, and the colours that we've been seeing in the overseas shows in Milan for the last few years, the greens, terracottas, lush tones, and really interesting stones, not just...
Yeah, it's more about the interesting stone now rather than a lot of the engineered stones and things like that. I mean, they still have their place in the market, but I think the one thing I love about tiles in the industry is stone, and that every piece of stone tells a story. It has unique fossils in it. It has your home or the job that you're designing for is unique because that piece of stone that you have is unique. It's like your mosaics. Every piece of that, like every vein, it all just tells a beautiful story. And then as you live on it, it changes as well. It creates patina. It tells us, like if you've got a piece of Carrara on your kitchen bench top and you can tell the story of your family. Like that.
Some people don't like telling the story of their family. The spilled red lines, the accident. That's why they like the reconstituted.
So I think it's for me, when I first was in tiles and we got this beautiful travertine in and it had these amazing fossils in it, and that's when the industry spoke to me. I think I'm a frustrated archaeologist. That's what I always wanted to be. I wanted to be Indiana Jones, but was told there was no money in it. So, and I just love tile and I love stone. Like it talks to me, and that's,
And what about applications? Are you seeing different, the stone being applied differently? What are we doing? Full wall, half wall? What are the kind of crazy applications that are happening at the moment?
Full walls, definitely. And people are getting more experimental with pattern. Texture is also another big, we're doing texture in stone as well. But people like monochrome, like white, but with lots of different like linen textures or other fabric textures, or just like a ripple, like what's in the hardware here. And with the brass inlays as well.
Yeah, with the metal details.
Yeah.
And now, how did the collaboration between you two, Steve, the Labyrinth collection, which I'm sure you all had a look at the installations in the window with the beautiful tiles underneath the bath and the vanity there. How did that design collaboration come about? Okay, you're answering that.
Hello everyone. So basically I designed the collection and I worked with a company in Sydney and they kind of distributed for me, and the wonderful Dara, very supportive, has it in her store, which is great. So she's sort of the main Melbourne supplier of the collection, which is brilliant, and it works so beautifully with all her kind of collections in-house. As she mentioned, it's the most beautiful tile store in the world, so of course I wanted my tiles in there. So, and then also nice, you know, I obviously work very closely with the English Tapware company and obviously have gone into the showrooms all the time and poured over their beautiful products. So it was really nice to kind of, when I was shooting the campaign for the actual tiles itself, of course I wanted to kind of get the tapware in there, and so I got some hardware details and things to style up the shoot, and then we've just kind of built on that collaboration, hence leading to the installation of the windows in both Melbourne and Sydney.
And would that have anything to do with the fact that you're renovating a large farmhouse in Orange?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And maybe tell everybody what you're putting in there, and I know you've chosen some things from English Tapware and your own tiles, of course.
Yes, correct.
It's handy making your own tiles for your own project.
In fairness, I was working on the collection before we bought the farm, but it was just perfect timing. I think I started designing probably 2 years ago, and it took about, the whole process was about 1 year to get it manufactured. In that time, obviously, we had purchased a property about 3 hours outside of Sydney. So we started with the master bathroom, and I think all you designers are here that what a bathroom usually takes maybe 6 to 8 weeks. This has been taking probably 6 months.
Why is that?
It's because I'm crazy OCD when it comes to my own property or own design. I can't do it. I'm like, what am I doing again? So I've kind of gone back and forth on so many different sort of details and designs, and I finally had to bit the book by the bullet and sort of, when I think about the things that I love and I always continue to come back to, that's when I know that that's exactly what I want to put in my house, which I want to have forever. This is our forever home, so I didn't want to just to put, you know, my partner kept on saying, just go down the road and grab something from Bunnings and whack it in. And I was like, that is never ever going to happen in any house that I ever do, even if it was such a quick sort of
even
flip
if
up.
you're having to just shower out the back.
I would use a bucket rather than,
So what have you chosen from here? We've done a quick whip around and you've shown
so
many.
I've got, what have I got? I've got the beautiful classic tapware. I'm going to forget all the names, but it's all, I've gone with aged brass. Well, I didn't polish brass and it's all starting to age, which is amazing. Anna?
You have the Edwardian
I have the Edwardian.
section.
So I've got the beautiful.
So you've got the beautiful bath pillars
Yes.
of logs. It's all in this area over here. It's chosen from the
Just see
custom.
this collection behind you. Thank you. But the biggest decision for me was what finish. So I love gold, but I love how it sort of turns into aged brass. So we did the polished brass, and it's already starting to turn, which is amazing. I love it. And so, you know, the big, beautiful shower kind of lever is amazing. It's this big disc, which is gorgeous. The rain shower heads are just phenomenal.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, probably not, but they are
Shower
amazing. But they're so beautiful, and the shower screens are going in literally next week. It's the last thing to go in. We're doing steel frame glass shower screens to kind of contain the shower and the toilet. And so my partner again is like negative Nelly. Like, do not use the bathroom or the shower until it's all in, because the water's going to go everywhere, and I've got an exposed wall which is painted with paneling that sits in front, behind the bath. And that's 2 weeks ago, I was like, stuff it, I need to use that shower. So I went down, it's just like, it was amazing, so beautiful. So all these little details and just how the products work. You've tried them, you've sort of been in here, hopefully you've got some of that at home, and they're just beautiful products. So yeah, very lucky.
And are any of the installations at the front similar to anything you've done?
Yeah,
at home?
yeah, definitely. Like, obviously my look, which I do, you know, my personal look, which of course I want to do at home because that's my personal space. I definitely love neutral, so black, white, gold, and
Tom Ford goes to orange.
Tom Ford goes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't know what's hit it, the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do my classic look because again, part of the struggle when you're a sort of stylist, interior designer, is we see so many things, and you know, one day I could be styling the pages for a magazine for Belle, and you know, it's this kind of quirky sort of trend, and then the next day I could be doing something completely different. But I'm always seeing different trends or travelling. So then when it comes to your own sort of house, you really want it to sort of speak to your personality and your kind of core belief as a designer, and your core look, I guess. And of course that will shift and change over time. But at this sort of point in time, I love monochrome, black, white, grey. That's why I did the channel, which is this design that's under this beautiful Paris bath. But I've done it in the Carrara and the white Dassos marble. So that's a bit fresher.
I think the
gold
designs
accents.
are classic but really contemporary. They give some of the more classic pieces a bit of an edge.
Yeah, and that's what, a few people have mentioned that tonight, which is really nice. And I think, obviously, when I was designing it, it's actually started when I was travelling randomly through Africa and Rwanda in particular. And they had these beautiful window grates on all these sort of beautiful old, going past in the cars, and there were door grates and window grates. And I just started sketching on, I asked the driver if he had like a tissue or a napkin or something, and started sketching. I just put them away, and I didn't have sort of an inkling of that's what I wanted to do, a particular tile collection. I knew I wanted to do something, whether it was a rug or a kind of hard flooring surface collection, and it just sort of moulded into that. So, but again, I wanted to, what's going on out here? Someone's getting rowdy, someone's getting loose. But I really wanted to have, a design edge, but then also be really classic and stand the test of time.
It's amazing where inspiration comes from, isn't it? And travels definitely.
Yeah. And I also continue to doodle, like, when I'm talking on the phone to Tanya or whoever, and we're on the phone, I just sort of always sketch, just not thinking about it, and just create these sort of graphics. And so some of those actually have also transpired into the design.
Well, I think some of the gorgeous new things that are here, the new hardware from Joseph Giles and the gorgeous grills from, it's Oxford, isn't it? Where's Anna? Oxford.
Yes. Yep.
Used in those front installations. I don't know if you've looked at the gorgeous joinery with the kind of butler's sink in it and these grills and handles, but yes, I was swooning over that earlier. Maybe you could tell us a bit about those. Walter, you're the hardware guru.
Well,
So these are new.
okay, so one of the big things that we're doing this evening is launching the Joseph Giles door furniture range. And let me preface this by saying that architectural hardware, let's just call it hardware, is a slow-moving, conservative industry. But when you start to get up to the top end of the market, where sort of we all live and breathe, and sometimes the air gets quite thin up here. Our clients live in quite interesting environments, shall we say. It can become, and is becoming, and in fact is very creative. We start to deal with engineers and designers on the manufacturing side who are not building to a cost structure, are not building to create scale or manufacturing for scale. They are creating, it's not just engineering, it's creating unique, living, breathing, tactile, yet fully functional implements for our daily lives.
Isn't one of these meant to resemble the barrel of a gun?
Well, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
Now-
Amazing, really heavy and incredible.
I've had 2 champagnes and I've gone blank. So this is the Gluckman knob. Now, I challenge anybody, you can put this on your bedroom door, it's a fully operating knob set, but I challenge anybody in this room to tell me that they've seen an operating knob set that looks anything like this. Now, the starting point for the design was the hand grip on classic English shotguns, the knurling and the the curve there. They took that as their starting point and said, okay, well, we're going to incorporate that into a piece of architectural hardware. So what you've got is an incredibly well realised and implemented piece of creative engineering. The proportions are perfect. The knurling, and you would all know that knurling is a big thing at the moment in cabinetware and in door hardware. And you always tell the quality of knurling by the depth, how far into the metal the lattice is cut.
Okay, knurling, I've just learned a new word.
Knurling? Okay. Knurling, for those of you who haven't come across this before, is a very commonly used treatment of metal in industrial applications to give grip. So if you've got a tool that you need to grip and turn, they'll cut a lattice work into it and you get grip on it. It's called knurling, it's a strange word.
And it's kind of industrial.
It's industrial, but it's quite,
industrial
aesthetically it's quite pleasing.
Yeah.
And in the hand it's very tactile and it gives you grip. And it's moved from that purely industrial context into the domestic, and that is one of the big trends that we're seeing in hardware at the moment.
Speaking of trends, is pure black hardware out? Haven't we seen a lot of that? We've seen a lot of that on the block, I think. Just black and white.
The block used to be terrific back when they used to build it. Okay, now they do challenges and it's all about relationships. But back in the early days, it was about building, and it was a really engrossing show. But nonetheless, the block is not what we do. I think you agree. The block serves a purpose because it interests people in design. And people who watch the block will come away with maybe a more greater awareness or more interest in design.
Educated on design through all those shows now, generally, at some level.
In terms of black's never been something that we've done.
That's a good black there, isn't it? That's a subtle.
Well, this is not black.
No, it's not black.
No, we don't actually have.
That's a deep,
We have virtually no black in this showroom.
It looks very close, so it's a charcoal. What would you call
Is
that?
that a
That's a
bronze?
bronze.
Yeah.
That's a dark bronze.
So is that
Well,
hammered like
if you
this?
hold it against something that's black, you'll actually see that it's a deep brown, and it has a depth that black just can't deliver. Yeah.
Is that
There'll
the
always
same
be a
with
market for
the
black.
hammered one over here, that's also bronze?
Correct.
This, right? Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Correct.
This, yeah.
But the big thing about the Joseph Giles range, and this picks up on a trend that has been with us for a few years now, and which I think still has legs for years to come, and that's the living finish. That's the idea that you can take a product, deliver it in a beautiful finish, a beautiful uniform sort of finish. It has some mottling, it has a bit of, every piece is a little bit unique. But when you put that into your context, into the area where it's going to be used, it's going to evolve in a unique way, depending on how you use it. So if you use it a lot, you're going to get brass highlights coming through there. If you don't use it very much, it's going to darken off over time. And you'll have this variation through your house. The market loves this. It's the idea that this is an engineered product, and it's beautifully made, and it works beautifully, but it's not commercial. And when it comes into my home, it becomes personal because it reacts to the way I use it, and it reacts to the environment within my domicile.
And it's like a piece of art, isn't it? It's a sculpture, they're so gorgeous.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the grills, the Oxford grills, can you tell us I guess these guys who are all interior designers and architects know how to specify that and order it.
Well, grills are interesting. Grills are a very classic piece of detail that's conventionally put into sort of classic cabinetry facings. But it can work, even in classic designs, it can work in extremely contemporary contexts. It's very easy to specify. You just choose a style and give us a size, and we take it from there. And the lead times are not bad. It is a fully bespoke product. It's made, our grills are manufactured by a English family. Pretty much everyone in the business is part of the family. It's a very small company. It is all hand woven, if you like, or assembled by hand. And yeah, there's a lovely story behind it. But it's a product that I think has been, although I was in conversation tonight and one of the designers said that she doesn't think that the market or people really get grills, that it's a product that's really been pigeonholed into a classic. It belongs in a classic context only, and really nothing could be further from the truth. And it's not just cabinetry, air return vents, cinema rooms obviously are very popular. So you've got a lot of electronics that need to be concealed, but you need to have airflow and what have you, so things don't overheat. Sound needs to come through. Grills are perfect for that, and you can dress that room to, you know, with this understated but really glamorous, or you know, whatever word you want to use, with this detail, and grill is fantastic for that.
Yeah, probably it's just seeing the end result. People need a bit of inspiration to probably get it.
So we're slowly sort of being able to build up, Anna, our creative director, is slowly being able to build up a library of images of grills in situ.
There's one here installed,
Yeah.
and there's one in the window.
And the window
Yeah.
is fantastic. I love that. And that's with these handles.
Yeah.
Yes, the little marble handles.
The style with the marble.
Yeah,
Finishing.
marble. Yeah, great.
And it's very into, you were talking about stone. It's interesting to see stone starting to come into door hardware, which is a quite a new thing. So
I think the message out of all of this, though, is there's a real quest for the bespoke and the individual, and customised, and all of these products are allowing that to happen, and all work very well together, as do all of you. So, do any of you have anything else you'd like to mention about? Anna, have we missed any product that we needed to?
You could talk a
introduce?
little bit more about Colette Sanjishki.
What was that?
Sounds fancy.
Dimitri knows how to pronounce it.
Zinski.
What is Joseph?
Joseph Giles have released some door furniture that is in marble. Now we all know marble. We know it as a countertop, we know it as a wall cladding or a floor treatment, but it's not something that's been used in architectural hardware. So Joseph Giles have now released a range of cabinet furniture and full-size lever sets in black onyx, red Laguna, green Guatemala, and black Toro. Marble, which is new, and it's once again it's a very natural material, so it fits in with the theme of living finishes extremely well, but it gives you a completely different look, completely different to a full metal finish. In design, of course, everything is context. So where would you use marble? I'm not a design professional.
It looks pretty good on that unit at the front.
It does. It does.
With the grill.
So it's a very, you would pick your point, but if you get it right, you'll have a stunning result.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
And it's not cheap.
No. But if you only need one.
Well,
As a couple. Yeah. It's like, jewellery for the home.
well, absolutely. It's door jewellery, and it's one of those things where you say, good heavens, it's that much. But then you see it and you go, I get it. Yeah.
Now, does anybody have any questions for our panel here this evening? I'm sure they'll be around afterwards, and definitely stay and have a drink and enjoy the lovely catering from English Tapware. And also, all of these products on the postcards and everything are in your gift bag to take away at the end of the night, so you don't need to go and collect them all. And there's also a copy of the latest issue of Belle in there. So thank you all for coming, and thank you very much.